Dear Latinos, being racist to other Latinos, indigenous, and black folks will not bring you any closer to the whiteness that you crave so much. And if this message bothers you, then it was probably meant for you.
Dear Latinos, being racist to other Latinos, indigenous, and black folks will not bring you any closer to the whiteness that you crave so much. And if this message bothers you, then it was probably meant for you.
Kahalayam la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Waha, Racha, Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of great millstone. To you I say shalom. Salutations to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. It's your brother, I'm Ryan. Let's get into it. The snippet I played for you I found interesting because of the experiences we've had trying to convert or help do our part for Yahweh to convert our people back to their original heritage, okay? And a lot of Northern Kingdom Jakes, they're just not going to snap out of the witchcrafts that they're involved in, the idol worshiping, okay? Statue worshiping, a lot of them are caught up in Catholicism, the Catholic religion, Christianity, okay? And other various forms of idol worship, Santa Muerte, etc., etc. Now, I've worked around a lot of Northern Kingdom Israelites, and quite frankly, a lot of them identify as the so-called self-proclaimed white race, okay? Which is why this Jake in this video was giving them a wake-up call, like, man, you're hating your own brothers and sisters of your own countrymen, okay? Because in fact, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures are you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and North American Indians, okay? You are one nation under Yahweh, whom you ignorantly call God, okay? But you have identified with the so-called self-proclaimed white man. The proof is here. The Census Bureau standards method for measuring race and ethnicity goes on to say, majority of Latinos say their race is white in two-part question, race and ethnicity format. And the chart here, it shows all Hispanics that were polled, 58% of them identify as white, 27% identified as some other race, 8% claimed they were two or more races, and 2% identified as the so-called black race, okay? And this is troubling because you are the sons and daughters of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay? You are Israelites, okay? But the so-called self-proclaimed white man has caught you up in his white supremacy. He has you thinking that you're better off identifying as your oppressor, okay? Straight up Stockholm Syndrome, okay? And you're not black or white, all right? That is a construct, a social construct.
The whole history of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people.
Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people.
I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real.
And you're not black or white, all right? That is a construct, a social construct. You are in fact the children of the living God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Some of you are in fact Edomites of the nation of Esau, Edom, okay? And that deals with not just the Northern Kingdom, you so-called Latinos and indigenous North American Indians, but the Southern Kingdom as well, dealing with the so-called Negroes. Some of you are of Esau, Edom. You are the tares spoken of in the scriptures, okay, that were planted amongst the wheat. But the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. So a lot of you that are identifying as so-called self-proclaimed white people are in fact of the house of Israel. It goes on to say U.S.-born so-called Latinos polled, 60% identify as so-called white, 20% as some other race, 11% as two or more races, and that's weird too because you are what your father is, and 2% as so-called black. 56% of foreigners, immigrants, identified as so-called white people, 32% some other race, 5% two or more races, and only 2% again so-called black race. Now, you can find this survey on pewresearch.org. But let's get some scriptures on the matter because, again, Israelites have always been known to trim their ways to seek love from these other nations. And right now, a lot of the Northern Kingdom Jakes in my area, they want to please the so-called self-proclaimed white man. They're racist like them. They've taken to the white supremacy, and they'll treat their own countrymen like shit. If you happen to be a dark-skinned so-called Latino or Hispanic, they treat you like shit. You're unworthy. They want those white features coming out in the babies. They want the blonde hair, blue eyes, all right, the lighter skin, all right, because they want to distance themselves from any people of color.
I was a little kid in Mexico and a new baby was born. If they were born dark, this is what I heard. Ay, está negrito, pobrecito. What is that saying?
Poor you.
Dang, that's tough luck for you. You have a dark-skinned baby. But whenever one of my little cousins was born light-skinned, ay, mira, está güerito como un angelito. What is that psychologically doing to you? Teaching you that what? To be like an angel, you have to be white. You have to be light-skinned. Whenever we see pictures of Jesus and angels, what color are they?
White.
White. Heaven is filled with white people. God and the angels are all white. When have you seen a black angel? It's because psychologically we're taught heavenly and angelic, beautiful, worthy is all white. Everything that's worthless is dark.
This is why we have such a hard time getting any of the Northern Kingdom to come into the fold, because they're caught up in their idol worship and they worship the so-called self-proclaimed white man. They worship so-called self-proclaimed white Jesus, okay? They are blinded. They are asleep. They are slumbering, all right? And it's not much we can do to wake them up if this is not the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But guess what? The Lord ain't coming back to save Hispanics, Latinos, black people, Native Americans. He is coming back to save his children, the children of Israel. And if you don't identify as such, you're going to get caught up in the shitstorm that's coming. This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 20 is where I began. It says, "For of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou saidest, I will not transgress, when upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest playing the harlot," right? And I'm not just accusing the Northern Kingdom of being like this, you so-called Latinos and Hispanics, okay? All of Israel is like this. You go around playing the hoe. You'd rather seek the love of the so-called self-proclaimed white man or the other heathen nations where you have been scattered under, okay, in captivity, in slavery. You emulate their ways, all right? Their gods have become your gods. But we're trying to tell you time is about up on this man's kingdom, this man being the biblical nation of Esau, Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. And if you don't separate from them and return back onto the old paths, all right, to serve Yahweh, whom you ignorantly call God, and Yahweh Shai, whom you ignorantly call Jesus, in truth and sincerity, your ass is grass. Okay, verse 21. "Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, a holy right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" And I'll tell you how. Because of Stockholm Syndrome. You love your oppressor, all right? You love your oppressor. You want to be just like him. You want to be racist like him. You want to look down on your darker-skinned fellows of your same country and treat them the same way the so-called white man treats them. For the life of me, I can't understand why you would want to imitate the so-called self-proclaimed white man anyway, which is the biblical nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, they are not white at all. and you identify with his ideology, but look what the scripture have to say about him. Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward he would have inherited the blessing. He was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. And let's just see real quick. Fornicator, because he's called profane and a fornicator. Fornicator means a man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire. A male prostitute. Wow. All right. This is who you're imitating. Profane. Lawful to be trodden, profane, unhallowed, uncommon, of men ungodly. He is ungodly. Wicked. Right. So you're imitating the wicked in the world today. Okay. And Esau is wicked. It is wicked to identify as a color, okay, not a nationality. It is wicked to be known as the nation of Esau Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white race. And you Jakes out here wearing it like a badge of honor, identifying with it like it's something to be proud of. All right, and it's not. But back to the lesson. But I can reassure you, if you don't snap out of that, you're going to receive the same punishment the so-called self-proclaimed white man is going to receive on this side, which is death by pain, which is death by thermonuclear fire. I work with a bunch of so-called Latinos, and they try to paint out we Israelites as nothing but racist, when in fact they're nothing but racist because they want to imitate and emulate the so-called self-proclaimed white man. That means shitting on anybody of color, okay? But you better snap out of it, like I said, because you got hell to pay. I'm going to skip down for time's sake because I don't want this being too long. All right. Verse 30. In vain have I smitten your children. They receive no correction. Your own sword hath devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. O generation, see ye the word of Yahweh. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are lords, we come no more unto thee. Right. You don't study the word anymore. You don't pray to the correct names. All right. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Yahweh being the one you call God. Yah meaning he. Hawa meaning exist or is. And the one you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning delivers or saves. You don't have need for them. You don't read their word. You don't study their word. Yet you claim to be a disciple, okay? Secretly in your vehicles worshiping Santa Muerte and all this other stuff. And the whole time you've been being warned by the men of the Lord, the watchmen of Yahweh are telling you, doom and gloom is coming. But I have no sympathy from Jakes, man. If they don't want to snap out of it, let the Lord's judgment reign upon them. All right. Verse 32. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Also in thy skirts is found the blood of the souls of the poor innocents. I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. Right. And we already know the Lord, the way he pleads with you, Isaiah chapter 66, by fire and by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. Okay. So you got great judgment come. Death by pain is coming. And because you don't know your owner, all right? You don't know who you are anymore. You have identified with the so-called self-proclaimed white man who is going to receive the worst judgment of all the nations. This is not someone you want to align with. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people do not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity and a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Right. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. Right. Even the immigrants coming in are identifying as so-called self-proclaimed white people. All right. You don't know who you are at all. You have no clue. All right. But the men of the Lord are out here telling you, out here in almost every country, all on social media, telling you, you are the children of the living power, Yahweh. All right. And his son, Yahweh Shai, is coming back to only save the children of the nation of Israel. Okay. Verse 5 again, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the heart is faint. Right? From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises, petrifying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. And it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahweh of hosts, and hosts means armies, had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been as unto Gomorrah, right? Destroyed by fire from the heavens. All right. And a lot of you Northern Kingdom Jakes and you Southern Kingdom Jakes, if you don't snap out of these idol worshiping mind frames that you're in, you're going to receive the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, on this side. Now, if you're not knowing the point of us waking up, the point of us waking up in these latter days was always to combine the children, the remnant that is left over, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, into one people, that you may be gathered by Yahweh Shai, whom you ignorantly call Jesus, when he returns with his angelic force, chariots of the Lord, which you call UAPs or UFOs, and gathers up the remnant of the nation of Israel. But before that, they have to know who they are. They have to repent. All right. They have to receive remission, which is forgiveness of sins, that the Lord can go ahead and clothe you with salvation. And I'll begin at verse 15, as you can see from the title, and we'll end out here. The title says the reunion of Judah and Israel. If you're not knowing, Judah is the southern kingdom of Israel, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. And the rest of the tribes are the northern portion, all right? Those are the other tribes, which tend to be so-called Latinos and Hispanics and Native American Indians, all right? Now, the reunion of them means the joining back together of them, okay? A union is a coupling, to be made a couple, a tribe, one nation under Yahweh. And this was always the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to have all of his children back together, like it was when King David was in rulership. Verse 15, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim, for all the house of Israel his companions. Okay? And Ephraim is the northern kingdom. Okay? You may identify them today as so-called Puerto Ricans, but they could be scattered into the other tribes as well. Verse 17, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Right. All right, one nation under Yahweh. He's going to join them together because they are in fact one people. You Northern Kingdom Jakes, you shouldn't be hating the Southern Kingdom Jakes or any of the darker skinned Northern Kingdom Jakes, because we are all one people. All right, we are in slavery in Babylon, America, Babylon the Great. All right, and the Lord is joining us back together as we speak. We are of the same country, which is Israel. We are Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. Okay, verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, all right, when they ask about the signs that we have, which shows all the 12 tribes, all right, and you confusion of faces, don't let that alarm you. It is the Spirit that witnesses, okay? So we're looking at the Spirit first and foremost. But verse 17 again, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Right. We're telling you who you are. Verse 8, verse 19. Say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay? And again, he's not coming back to save so-called Latinos, Native Americans, or blacks. He is coming back to save the children of Israel, who identify as such. Verse 22 again, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. All right? And this is for the children of Israel, whether you be of so-called Latino, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, or so-called black. All right? The Lord is about to join us back together. The remnant of the nation of Israel will be one in his hand again. All right. There will be no more division. There will be no more racism against your own brother, against your own countrymen. All right. The Lord will guide us. And our king that shall reign over us all will be Yahweh Shai. All right. There will be order and structure. There will be safety and prosperity under Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai again. And if you're not with that, you will be destroyed on this side, okay? So it's high time that you awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Hopefully this has been edifying. Call halayim la Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for this message. Till the next time, shalom.